As your baby begins to mature, you now have begun to interact and take care of your baby more often. One of the major things that you are now doing is beginning to participate in the feeding process of your baby. So be it bottle feeding or breastfeeding, you will be doing this more and more as your baby is becoming more and more awake. The other thing that you are now beginning to think about is discharge planning. You now have to learn how to be able to take care of your baby and help your baby develop on discharge. As you begin to be feeding your baby more and more, this becomes an opportunity where you can start also handling your baby and starting to do some developmental tasks. So for instance, as your baby begins to wake up, you can allow him to begin to move around on his own. Therefore, all the blankets and rolls and head huggers are out of the bed. So a good idea is move your baby into the middle of the bed so you can be face to face with each other. This will allow him just to move randomly and spontaneously, therefore exercising and moving his muscles nicely against gravity. It will also give you the opportunity that you may be able to begin to achieve eye-to-eye contact. He will not be able to actually see you clearly for another few weeks, but it's the beginnings of that visual contact. You may also have seen that the babies tend to like to face to their right side. This is very common, especially for those babies who spend time in an NICU. It's because most of the caregivers are right-handed, so they tend to set the babies up facing to the right so that it's easier to care for the babies. One easy way to help this is to take a blanket, make a roll, and tuck it around the baby. Make sure that the bump of the head goes on the middle of the roll, and you tuck the arms of the blanket down along the side of the baby. This will help him keep his head in the middle, help us bring his hands to his face and to his mouth, and he can now move freely in this sort of flexed midline position. As your baby's waking up, you may find he's starting to get a little fussy, so you want to be able to try and calm him down. One way is obviously giving him a pacifier. The pacifier has been shown clearly to help calm the baby. The other way is to place your hands gently on his trunk, and this will help calm his movements, help him become a little bit more centered, and therefore you gain another chance where you may be able to interact with your baby. The other thing that we need to begin to do is help him strengthen his abdominal muscles and his shoulder girdle muscles, particularly his pec muscles. One way you can do this is gently put your fingers on his upper chest and squeeze those fingers together. This will activate the pectoralis muscles. For the abdominals, put your fingers on his tummy, spread your fingers out and squeeze them gently together, and that will activate his tummy muscles. You'll see his legs pull up into flexion and he'll bend forward. Babies who are born premature are often very weak through the abdominal muscles and the shoulder or the pectoralis muscles. Again, squeeze the pecs together and you'll see the arms come together and the legs come up. This is our way to help make the baby do his abdominal exercises. And this will help strengthen these muscles so that he will be able to begin to gain head control, abdominal strength, and this will help him develop and move forward in his gross motor skills. The butterfly pillow is often a device that is used in an intensive care unit. It is a pillow shaped like a butterfly. This will help your baby keep the head in the midline and bring the arms to the middle. You can place the baby on the pillow. His head should be just below the head of the butterfly. So while in this position, he's very nicely positioned and held in a beautifully flexed midline position, and now he can move freely against gravity and again develop the strength of his abdominal and pectoralis muscles. Since your baby now will be spending all sleeping time on his back, it is now important when your baby is awake that he starts to spend some time on his tummy. Tummy time is crucial. This is where the strength of the abdominal muscles will be developed. So with each diaper change, gently turn your baby over onto his tummy, flatten him out, try and straighten out the legs. But if he continues to tuck into flexion, that's okay. Allow him to try and squirm around, move around. See if you can keep his elbows just under his shoulders, because this will allow him to push some weight down through his arms, and he will start to try and make an attempt to lift his head and try and turn from side to side. Sometimes it does help to straighten out his legs and give a little pressure down through the legs, as that will take the weight off his face. Tummy time is crucial. You must try and do it every time you change the diaper, and you only need to do it for 1 or 2 minutes. And just the fact of seeing the baby move his head from side to side, it shows you that you have been quite productive during this little period of exercise. Once you've done your tummy time, turn him back onto his back, and now it's probably time to begin to feed. In order to pick your baby up nicely, come in under the head, gently flex the head up, center the head, bring it into flexion, bend up the bum, and pick him up gently. And then from here, you can either bring him to the breast or put him up on his shoulder or appreciate your beautiful baby.